As our business has grown, one of our biggest challenges has been to stay organized. The more sheet metal stock that we brought into the shop to be processed, the less efficient we became because we had simply run out of space and our shop was a total mess. This rack behind me, made by Lean Manufacturing, helped us regain the order and efficiency in our sheet metal shop that we want here at Exterior Pro. So this is our before. Basically sheets of metal on skids everywhere, clogging up the shop. That's our problem. All right, guys, you've just seen the old version of our shop. We had metal everywhere. It was a total mess. We couldn't do anything. It took forever to move stuff around. And now we don't have that. Now we have this sheet metal rack, and this thing has been amazing for our shop. So this is where our stock goes in. And just a couple of spec notes on this rack. We have 18 slots or 18 cartridges. It's about a 5,000 pound capacity. So in what we do, we run 24 gauge, 4x10 flat stock. So we can get 100 sheets per cartridge and still be under the capacity of the 5,000 pound, which is a great space saver. We can get up to 18 different slots. So this rack has really helped us transform. So the vision for the shop would be that raw material comes in and goes to the rack. It gets pulled from the rack into the shear. It gets sheared down to the size that we needed, the blank, for the brake. And then after the part is processed, it goes into the finished parts rack. Now, if you remember from the before video, the finished parts rack had also been completely consumed with raw material. We just do not have that problem anymore. And you can see we've got several jobs lined up, ready to go out the door on Monday morning. And this is the way that the shop should run. And I couldn't have done it without this rack. All right, so I've shown you the rack and I've shown you the transformation that it has done to our shop. So I guess the next question is, should you buy it, right? How are you gonna pay for this rack? These racks are not cheap. Should you buy it? Is there a return on investment? For me, there was. In your case, you'll have to consider it. But in my case, these are the three things that I considered when I wanted to buy this rack. I wanted to consider the labor of moving around sheet goods and just the total inefficiency that working in a mess created for us. So for us, we recognized a big savings in labor, not moving things around. We come right in, we go right to the cartridge with the color on it that we want, we pull it down, we set it on the table right next to the shear, we pull it right off the table, go right into the shear, right into the brake. So for us, there was a big return, a big savings of labor from not moving the sheets around. Point number two is, we needed space. So we've grown, we've got a great commercial location here on a main drag, but we are out of space and we're not gonna switch shops anytime soon. So we're not gonna break this shop down or sell this shop and build another shop. So we have to find ways to be efficient where we're at. That's what we have. So I viewed this purchase as kind of buying real estate. I bought real estate from myself in a sense. I needed this valuable real estate, which was sitting right next to my equipment. So I bought this rack. I spent the money on the rack, and it basically gave me real estate that I needed. I was able to free up my shop. So I viewed it that way, and I used the cost of what it cost me to be here to kind of help me figure out what my ROI is and should I buy this rack. And for me, it was a win, and yes, I should have bought it, and we did buy it, and we've been very happy. And the third one would be, the third way that we would pay for this rack would be with freight savings. So a lot of these companies that we buy sheet goods from, it'll either be a 100 or a 200 sheeted purchase, but we won't incur any freight. So now I can bulk buy material and save on freight. And freight is a big part of what we do. Moving metal around costs money. So now we buy sheets at most of the time at 200 at a time. We fill our racks up, and if I don't need exactly all the sheets, it doesn't matter. I can still store them and get the free freight. So the freight savings and then not chasing around small quantities was another big part of how we paid for this rack. So in the end, was this rack worth it? For us, it most definitely was. Is it worth it for you? Well, you'll have to use those factors and calculate your own ROI. But I can tell you that not working in a mess and having our shop organized and be able to put a lot of metal in a small space has really been a big help.